Welcome to Get In, We're Going Healing. This is a channel where we talk about emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual health. Today we are going to do a tarot reading to help you know what it is that you are needing to let go of right now in your life. So if you are on a healing journey right now, like many of us are, during this time, there are going to be things that you need to let go of, things you need to see in order for you to heal them and for you to let go of. Why do you need to let go of them? Because you can't carry them into where you're going. They're not part of the life that you are moving into. So what is it that you're holding on to that you need to let go of? That's what we're going to talk about today. So, how are we going to pick today? I see this deck. Yes. This is the White Owl Mystic Arcana. The White Owl Mystic Arcana. We're going to use this to choose our piles today. So what is it that we need to let go of? Please and thank you. There's one already. There's two. And we'll do one more. 3. Okay. All right, so for pile number 1, we have cycle. Cycle. Okay. For pile number 2, we have Saturn. And for pile number 3, we have Sagittarius. Okay? Okay, piles 1, 2, and 3. So if you're new to pick a cards, what you do is you pick whichever one of these cards called to you. You might have felt a shiver in your spine. You might have felt something that was a recognition, something on the card, an imagery, or the word, or the name. Something in there might have sparked something. That's your intuition telling you that's the pile that you're intended to. If none of those things happened for you, you can check the timestamp. Maybe there's a lucky number that you have that belongs in the timestamp and you'll see it, and maybe that's the call that you have for it. You might be called to more than one pile. That's okay. There might be a message in whatever cards come up for those piles that are for you. So, without further ado, I will see you at your reading. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose the cycle card, this card is for you. All right. Before we even get into the tarot cards, let's talk about this card for a second. So, what I'm already seeing in this card, first of all, if you've chosen the cycle card in a topic of what is it you need to let go of, I'm willing to bet there is a cycle that you need to break. Now, what kind of cycles could we be talking about? In this image, what we see is the cycles of the moon, right? And there's a spiral in this going out. If you see that, because it starts to take over the moon, and then the moon goes back into the edge of the spiral. There's a spiral here. So because the spiral happens on top of these heads, I'm already thinking that there's a pattern of thought that you need to break, a cycle of thinking that needs to be let go of. Now, here we have these two similar looking women here, these individuals, and it looks like one is a little darker than the other. So there might also be shadow work that you're being called to do. Let's see. It's so interesting already. Let's see. Very interesting with the cycle card. So where are we going to pull our messages from? Okay. So the first deck I'm feeling called to is the Angel Oracle deck. Okay. Angels, ancestors, guides of myself and pile number 1, the cycle breakers. Please give me clear guided messages of what it is they need to know that they need to let go of. What is it that they need to let go of? Okay. Please and thank you. All right, right away we got 3 things. Take time to breathe. Thank you, angels. I breathe with ease knowing you're here. So this card is talking about not having to always work hard towards our goals, being able to step back and take a minute to breathe and to allow the universe, God, source, the creator, whatever, that energy that makes things happen without your doing. This card is saying to take a break and allow the things that are happening behind the scenes to unfold without your needing to orchestrate things. Taking time to breathe is saying, I know that my angels are here. I know that the powers that be, the universe, God, I know that that energy is here and working towards my highest good. I don't always have to be the one pushing to make things happen. I can actually let go and allow things to unfold without my choosing to do so. So maybe this is a cycle for you. Maybe this is something that you do, that you feel the need that if you want something to happen, you have to be the one to make it happen, to force it to happen, if it doesn't, the old adage, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. The mindset that I can't rely on someone else to do something to bring me my happiness. I have to be the one to go out and create it because no one else will if I don't. And that's a good energy to have, that perseverance, that desire, that drive to get the things that you want. However, you don't have control of all the things. You have a limited amount of things that you have control over. And much of it towards the goals that you want is out of your control. The right people, the right connections, the right meetings, the right opportunities, all those things are outside of your control. That's all within the universe's control. So when we sit back and we relax and we let go and we say, I can relax and take a break and be at ease because I trust that the universe has got my back. I know that my angels, my guides, my ancestors, my team, I know they've got my back. I know they're watching out for me and I don't have to do all the things. So that might be a cycle that you're working on. I'm going to even be willing to bet even more so that I'm learning to surrender and trust, because the second card you got is leap of faith. I am ready to take a leap, angels. Thank you for doing it with me. A leap of faith. People misunderstand what a leap of faith is. It is trusting the universe, but here's the thing about a leap of faith. What makes it the faith part of the leap is that you have no idea what's coming for you at the bottom, but you are trusting that it will be okay. It's jumping off of a cliff and not knowing what's at the bottom, not knowing if you'll be caught or if you'll be dashed on the rocks. It's like Pink's new album, Trust Fall. It's like a trust fall. It's falling and trusting that when you fall, you will be caught. That is the general idea of a leap of faith. If it wasn't on faith, then it wouldn't be a leap of faith. It would just be a leap. If you could see where you were leaping, if you could see where you were landing, if you knew what the outcome was going to be, it wouldn't be a leap of faith. It would just be a leap because you're doing the A to B to C to D in order, in a plan. The point of a leap of faith is there is no plan. You don't get to plan. It's letting go and trusting that as each thing comes to you, you will handle it. And that you will trust that it will all work towards the good, towards the goal, towards the outcome that you're hoping for. But trusting that it will happen without your needing to do it. Again, that's the only reason it's called a leap of faith. So when take time to breathe, reminding you that you don't have to do all the things. And leap of faith, reminding you to trust that in the not doing all the things, that you will still get the outcome you're working towards. And I mean, if we couldn't follow up with a better card, we have Clear Your Vibes with Archangel Metatron. Thank you, Metatron, for clearing my energy field. So in this, we're talking about, like, you see his hands are in prayer position over between his heart and his throat. And that's one of the things that often that we have difficulty with is giving voice to our heart, being able to speak from our heart. Our heart is the space of the highest vibration. Love is the highest frequency. It vibrates at the highest frequency of spectrum. So when we are in a space of love, we are in a space of high vibration. When we clear our vibes, it's because we've gotten into low vibrational vibes, low vibrational sensations, low vibrational places. Low vibrational things are things like, I guess if you want to put it this way, it's kind of like the things that are the sins. It's being trapped in a space of the low vibration, like depression, sadness, anger, jealousy, envy. All of those things would be low vibration. They keep you at a lower stuck level, dealing with things that are in that frame. If what you want is to be in a space of love, a space of joy, of comfort, of contentment, of being able to flow freely through your life and be happy in your life, be truly satisfied in your life. If that's what you want, you can't be in a vibrational state of envy and jealousy and anger and bitterness and all of those lower vibrational emotions, because you cannot beget high vibrational outcomes with low vibrational spaces in low vibrational being. In order for you to do that, you're going to have to clear out the old low vibrational things to get to a space of high vibration. So in this card, we've got Metatron. If I'm not correctly, is it not, I think, is it Chiron as the wounded healer or Metatron? I don't have my facts right on that, so I'm not going to speak on that to be certain. But with clear your vibes, the idea, of course, is let go of those low vibrational feelings. So when we're talking about you getting the card of cycle and cycle breaker, one of the cycles that you might need to be breaking in your life is being in a space of low vibrational emotions, telling yourself low vibrational stories, being caught in these stories that keep you stuck in these feelings of low vibe feelings. Just because we're talking about that, I want to pull out, I have these cards called the shadow healing cards. I want to see what kind of emotions come up in this. What kind of low vibrational emotions are we breaking in this cycle? Let's find out. What kind of low vibrational emotions are we eliminating here? What kind of low vibrations are we trying to clear out? Thank you. Fraud. Being left with the deception that you once thought the truth can leave you. Being left with the deception that you once thought was truth can leave you feeling beaten. But you will emerge from this situation stronger than when you began. So one of the feelings that you might be having right now, that you are clearing through, is you're seeing through lies. You're seeing through things that you once thought were true, and you're finding out that they're not. That for these things were fraudulent, that these things that you thought were valid and true and you stuck by them, turns out they're not so true. They're not so valid. They're not so applicable to the life that you want to lead. But understanding that as the truth comes to you, as my friend Ashley likes to say, the truth will set you free. But first, it's going to piss you off. Because when you first begin to see the truth, when you first begin to see the deceptions, either the deceptions that you carried yourself and put onto others, or the deceptions that others gave to you, when you begin to see through the lies, it's going to make you really, really mad. And that's okay, because that's part of the process. It's going to leave you feeling mad, and it's going to make you, it may make you feel beaten. With this fraud card coming up, it might make you feel hopeless. When the truth comes out, you might feel just so beaten down because you can't believe that that was true. But this card is reminding you, you will emerge from this situation stronger than when you began. It also makes me think of one of my favorite quotes that I love to share with people. You are the strongest version of yourself that has ever existed. Everything that you have faced up until this point, you have beaten. There was a version of you who stood on the other side looking at that thing that and you thought was unbeatable. You thought was not something you could overcome. And now here you are on the other side of those things, every single one of them that you were daunted by. You overcame it. Every single one of them. Your track record is spectacular. So there's no reason to think that whatever it is that you are facing now, you are not going to overcome, because your track record speaks for itself. You have overcome everything, and you will continue to overcome all of your challenges, no matter how many times you have to try, no matter how many tries you have to take. You will overcome whatever challenges that you had, and you will be stronger when you come out the other side. You will have gained knowledge that you did not have before that situation occurred. That is breaking a cycle. As you begin to see and look back and go, oh, that's what that was. That's not what I thought it was. That's not what I was told it was. But that's what it actually is. As you begin to look back and see that, you can let go of those things because you don't need them. They were fraudulent. They were not things you needed in your life. That's part of the cycle that you will break, is letting go of these things that were not true to begin with. They were not true. They were never true. And yet you believed them as truth. And that's okay. Because of course you did. Why else wouldn't you? But now, as you see what the truth really is, you can let go of what you used to think it was and know it to be what it is. False. Fraudulent. Can we get one more emotion? What else? What other vibe needs to be cleared? Tell me more about whatever vibe needs to be cleared, please. For pile number 1, the cycle breakers. Thank you. Baffled. Sometimes a little confusion allows us the opportunity to explore different ways that we might not have previously considered. All right. I got a story to share on this one. So, oftentimes, if we have devised a situation in our head and we've looked at it from a certain perspective and we've told ourselves this is what happened, exactly what happened, it can be confusing if someone gives us an account that is at odds with the one that we have in our mind. And it can make us feel very confused. And at times this can also, in today's world, we hear all these buzzwords with these ideas that everybody's a narcissist and everybody is gaslighting and everybody is abusing and everybody, like, to the point where we have overused and misunderstood the meaning and the intention behind these things. We label people who are dealing with their own issues as abusers. Now, yes, they are doing behavior that is abusive, but the thing that we forget is that there is more than one story, and not every person who is behaving in a way that is abusive is a narcissist or an abuser. They are using tactics and techniques that they know, oftentimes because that is the example that was given to them, and that is the tool set that they have. It is not necessarily done with intention. Now, yes, there are those who are intentionally manipulative, but many times it's more of a lack of skill sets than it is intentionally being narcissistic. And we get into these spaces where we say if someone else's opinion is different than ours, then they may be gaslighting us. And that's not necessarily true. It may be that some people struggle with understanding that there is more than one perspective, that each person is viewing the situation through their own individual lenses, and they're not necessarily seeing the situation and the events in the way that you would see them, because they're not seeing the world through the lens that you use. and the judgments that you use in a situation, and whether someone should or should not have behaved in a certain way. You aren't in that space to do so. Confusion, being in a space of confusion, can allow you to be in a space of curiosity. And when we get into a space of curiosity, we're able to wonder, why would someone behave that way? Not being angry with the behavior, but questioning what would prompt someone to behave in such a manner? What would prompt someone to act that way, speak that way, think that way? And instead of being in a space of judgment, we can be in a space of understanding and open ourselves to wondering why that person would react the way that they do. This is something that's brought up in the book, Crucial Conversations, where it's talking about learning to communicate when the stakes are high. And they use this example in learning to negotiate between companies when there is mergers and things happening. When there are things where people walk away from bargaining tables, it's looking for common ground and beginning to understand why someone would act in the way that, why a reasonable, rational person, extending that assumption that the person you are dealing with is a reasonable, rational person, why would they have made the decision that they made? And it allows us to look at things from a different perspective, not our lens, and why would someone behave that way through our thinking and our perspective, but trying to put ourselves into their perspective and understand why they would have made that decision or that leap in judgment or that leap in thinking. So being confused instead of angry can sometimes be a benefit for us. Learning to be curious rather than judgmental. Being confused rather than angry. Giving us that small little space, that small little window to begin to look at things from a different perspective. So those might be cycles and vibes that need to be let go of. I don't know. I don't know your situation. I don't know what's happening with you or why. But that seems to be one of the things that's going on. What do you need to let go of? Let go of thinking that you know all the things. Allow yourself to be confused. Let go of thinking that what was a lie ends up making you feel beaten. Let go of these cycles where you feel that you need to do all the things. Allow yourself to trust in the guidance of the universe. Trust in the guidance of your higher self. Your higher version, your highest, most authentic you already knows how to let go of all these things and has already done so. This is guiding you to be that version of you who's already done these things. And you're breaking these cycles. And as you break these cycles, you will do all of these things. So let's find one more thing. Let's look into one more message. What is it that you need to let go of? What is it that you need to let go of? Yeah, we're going to take a traditional tarot. What is it that you need to let go of? For pile number 1, our cycle breakers. Our cycles and patterns. What is it that they need to let go of, please? What is it they need to let go of? Karma patterns, old karmic thinking, old ways of being, comparing yourself to others or comparing others to you, and believing that you do not have the right to have a magical life. We have past lives and karma. We have the 5 of Swords with comparison, and we have the Magician with existence in reverse. What is it that you need to let go of? You are letting go of old ways of being, old karmic patterns. Karmic patterns are old thought patterns, old ways of being that are no longer in alignment with the person you are becoming. You are releasing those. You are releasing these ideas of comparison that one is better than the other, that you are better than someone else, or they are better than you, or anyone is better than anyone else. Understanding that each person's journey is their own individual journey. It has nothing to do with your journey. Even if your journeys run parallel to each other for a long distance of time, even if your path runs parallel to each other for a good chunk of time, your path is still your main concern. Their path is theirs. You are not to worry about who's walking their path, how quickly, when, where, what obstacles they're going to encounter, whether they fall over those obstacles or whether none of that is any of your job to be worried about. Questioning, when are they going to get to my level? No, 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 no. Your job is to work on your path, your healing. Do not compare yourself to another person. You are not them. They are not you. They are not the individual cluster of cells that is you. They are someone completely different with their own karmic patterns that they have to release. Don't worry about comparing yourself to them. They are walking a different path. You don't have to decide if the oak is more beautiful than the bamboo, or the bamboo is more beautiful than the oak. Both the oak and the bamboo are beautiful in and of themselves. They are not worried about whether the bamboo does not sit there saying, I wish I were more beautiful like the oak. And the oak does not grow thinking, how could I be more like the bamboo? They grow as the oak grows. The bamboo grows as the bamboo grows. You are who you are. You are walking your path where you are meant to be. You are not to be concerned with other people's things. You are to worry about yours, because you are the creator of your own destiny. The magician is all about creating the life that you want to live. It's about being the one to create the existence that you want to have. And one of the things you need to let go is a feeling like you aren't able to do that. You are. You are the person who lives in your life every single day. You're the person who decides what food goes in your body. You're the person who decides what clothes go on your body. You are the person who decides what thoughts you are willing to entertain and which ones you are not. You are the one who creates your destiny. When you focus on good vibes, as we got in the card with Metatron, when we focus on good vibes, we feel more good vibes. When we vibrate at a higher frequency, we feel more things that vibrate at the frequency we are vibrating on. So again, we are reminded to take a breath, to let go of what is not yours to carry, and allow things to fall into alignment in where they're meant to be, knowing that you will achieve your goals so long as you keep focusing on that. You will get there. You will break these cycles. So pile number 1, I hope that this gave you some insight and some help. I hope that this advice helps you understand in your life what it is that you might need to let go of, whatever resonated in this, whatever you thought of, whatever popped in your mind as I was saying it, is the thing that it's time to let go of, is the cycle that you are meant to be breaking right now. And I hope that this gave you some insight into how to get there. So if you liked this reading, don't forget to give me a thumbs up to show that you liked it. Leave a comment if something in there really resonated with you and you want to share. And don't forget to subscribe to catch new readings as they come out. If you like this content and want to give a donation, all that information is in the description box below. And if you would like to join our Patreon, where there are Patreon exclusives, you can find that information in the description box as well. So until next time, love and light, fellow humans. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose Saturn, then this card is for you. So let's have a look at the Saturn card here. So what I see in the Saturn card, we've got this goat with its eye removed and a crown on it with all of these jewels, all of these chains and necklaces. There's a moon. We have a pentacle. He's holding a feather. Okay. So there's some sacred geometry happening in the background. All right, so let's start dissecting this. So the first thing that I'm noticing that's really bringing my attention is that this goat head is missing an eye. And it brings to mind Odin, the story of Odin, and Odin with his one eye and having removed his eye and being blind in one side. So, I mean, the first thing that I'm getting here is the eye being blind, that maybe there's something that you're blind to. Something that you need to let go of, something is that you're blind to, something that you can't clearly see. When we've got the pentagram here, the pentagram's meaning is totality. It represents the 4 elements, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and encompassed with the circle, which allows the energy to be earth, air, fire, water, spirit, all together, all encompassing. That's the meaning behind a pentagram. So when we've got that one, especially when that's the only one that's lit up, everything else is in black and white here, but that is nice and brightly colored to really accent the connection between all things. We have a crown here signifying royalty, signifying power, signifying strength, because power is strength. Right? That is what we've been told, right? Power is strength. We've got this feather here. And is it a feather or is it grains? I'm not sure if that's a feather or grains. You know what? I think it's a branch. I think it's an evergreen. Yeah, it's an evergreen branch. Okay, so then if we go off of that, this means financially set, financially evergreen, right? Evergreen, ever living. So right there with the message so far, I'm getting, what is it that you need to let go of? Feeling lack, not seeing the abundance in front of you, not seeing what's available to you, not seeing your own worth. Yes, crown. Yes, not seeing your own worth. Okay, that's the message I'm going to get from that. So let's see if we can get some further messages. What messages does pile number 2 need? From which pile, please? Which deck? Which deck? Which deck? This one. Okay. So, angels, ancestors, guides of pile number 2, please help me give clear guided messages for what it is that they need to let go of. What they need to let go of, please. Thank you. What is it that you need to let go of? Yeah. Okay. A couple that fell on the floor. All right. Okay. Okay. What do we need to let go of? All right. So the first thing you got is the integration card, which is temperance. And this is about balance. This is about like the day and the night and fire and water and yin yang and open chakra for your upper chakra. This is everything in alignment. At the bottom of the card, we have the snake that eats its own tail, which in Norse mythology is the symbology of never ending. That when one cycle ends, another one begins. This is the ending of cycles and integration of lessons that you have learned through the cycles. The second card you got is the Empress, card number 3 with creativity. And the Empress is Mother Gaia. She's the creator. She creates things in this world. If we've got anything, she makes it happen. She takes what is in the ether, in the mental, in the imagination, and she brings it forth into the physical world. So just beginning there, what is it that you need to let go of? You need to let go of being attached to the old versions of you, because you're not them, you're integrating them. You need to let go of feeling like you can't create the world around you, because you are able to create the world around you. The next card we have is trust. You need to let go of, and it's in reverse, you need to let go of feeling distrustful of the outcomes, feeling like the universe does not have your back, feeling like there's always going to be the next shoe to drop, that there's not going to be a happy ending because you feel like everything's all going to fall apart all the time. It's time to let go of that. With this is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a trusting individual. He's new. Cups are love, right? Cups are your emotions. He's that young love, that optimistic love. When you looked at romantic relationships and you went, I aspire to have that kind of thing. I want to feel that. He's open-hearted and willing to trust in what might come his way. But again, we have this in reverse. So this is distrusting life, distrusting what might come to you, distrusting that you'll get your happy, that you'll get the contentment that you want. How are you going to get that if you don't trust any opportunity that comes your way? If every single time something good comes to you, you go, I don't trust it. I can't take it. I don't trust it. Instead of being in this situation and feeling it and immersing yourself in it and enjoying every single moment, I don't trust it. And that's what the next card of Three of Cups is, celebration. How can you be in a space of celebration if you don't trust in every good thing that happens? If every single time something good happens to you, you're like, nah, something bad's going to balance it out. Something bad's coming. And you look for the bad. How are you ever going to be in this place where you are carefree and just enjoying? One of the ways that we can learn to be in a space of joy in our lives is to live in that space now, to live our lives in joy now, not when we get that job, when we get that vacation, when we get that raise, when we get that boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, when we get that kid, when we get that. If we always say that we will only be happy when we get things, how will we know? There's a good chance when you get that thing, you still won't be happy, because happiness does not depend on the things that you get or the milestones that you reach. Happiness is something that you can have now. Happiness is something that you can experience now and be joyful now in the small little things. Be joyful that you are healthy. Be grateful that you have good food to eat and it's delicious, and be savoring of the food you eat and enjoy the entire experience. This is celebrating, right? And in order to do that, because you're not being in your moment, you're missing out on this new beginning that you're looking for. The Fool is starting over. The Fool is trusting the universe. Look at, he's on the edge of the cliff and he's about to drop off, but he's not worried. He knows that he is taken care of, that whatever adventure he's embarking on, it'll be fine. It's a new adventure, and he's all green, he's new, and it's new adventure and new excitement, and he's happy to do it, but you have it in reverse. So one of the things you need to let go is feeling that this existence that you are in is all that there is ever going to be. Like you don't have a new start. Like you're stuck in this situation and that's where you're going to be forever. That is the energy of the Fool in reverse, is feeling like there is no new beginning for you. There is no excitement. There is no adventure. That life is just going to be doldrums every day. And I mean, if we couldn't time it better, we got the Four of Swords. And in this deck, it's called postponement. And in this one, you see she's gray. And she's looking out this window and everything around her is gray. And she's looking out the window and it's bright and colorful and exciting. And she's looking out the window saying, I wish I could have that. I wish I could be in that place where it's beautiful and it's joyous. I would be so happy if I were there, but I'm not there. I'm here. And because I'm here, I'm gray. I don't have those feelings. I don't have that connection. I feel stuck. I feel like I'm watching it through a window and not experiencing it. The imagery on this card reminds us as well, if you look, her shirt is starting to become colorful. She's beginning to draw in color and happiness again, which gives hope that she'll get to the point where she's ready to step into the colorful space. This card reminds you that when you feel like there is no new adventure coming to you, it is because you are looking at your life through a window and watching your life pass you by. And the only way that you can do anything about that is to decide that you want to live your life instead of watch it pass you by. That's the message in here with the Queen of Swords in reverse. This one is reversed, is called morality. And this one in this, the Queen of Swords, is being worried about shoulds and shouldn'ts. I should do this. He should do that. She should do that. They should do that. They shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. Shouldn't, shouldn't, shouldn't. This card is reminding you that not all decisions need to be made from a place of shoulds and shouldn'ts. Life is not about shoulds and shouldn'ts. The experiences that happen in life, the joy, the things that make life worth living, the celebration, the adventure, those things come when we let go of shoulds. Because if we focus on shoulds and shouldn'ts, we don't leave space for surprise and excitement and adventure. If we overplan everything, then the moment that our things don't go to plan exactly the way we wanted it, then we're in a space of, well, that's not what I wanted. Instead of enjoying what you have. That's what it is I feel like we're saying with this original card with the Saturn and the blindness. Not seeing what it is that you have in front of you because you're so focused on it should look like this. It shouldn't look like that. When we open ourselves up to what it actually is and find the joy in what we actually have, then we find we have our adventure. Then we find our celebration. Then we find we begin to walk in this space of abundance, of joy, of color, of happiness, of this life that we want. We begin to be in a space of balance, of integration. We begin to be in a space of creativity and being able to be the person we want to be, rather than feeling that we have to be the person that others want us to be. So what is it that you are letting go of right now? What is it you need to let go of? You need to let go of feeling like you can't have the life that you want because of X, Y, and Z. You need to let go of feeling like you are stuck here and incapable of having the things you want. You need to let go of telling the universe how it has to happen, and instead be your empress, be your creator. Tell the universe what it is you want, and then get the out of the way. Let the universe bring it to you. You're ending a cycle of suppression. You're ending a cycle of feeling tied up and burdened and trapped. In order for you to do that, in order for you to let go of feeling like you are burdened and trapped, like this Ten of Wands here. This guy is all tied up in these ropes, and all around him, it's about to crack. And even though this is wands, it's got the clouds in the background, and the clouds in this deck are the swords. So this is talking about being burdened passionately, but it's affecting your thoughts. It's affecting your mental state. It's affecting how you see the world and your thinking pattern. And it's just tying you down and keeping you stuck. When it's coming in here on the bottom of the deck in reverse, it's letting go of that burden, releasing that stuckness, releasing that feeling tied down. What is it you need to let go of? Feeling like there's no way out. Remembering that you are the creator. You are the person who has the ability to change your own existence. That is up to you. It's in the choices that you make. Let's get some angel advice for our pile number 2s. Our Saturns are ones taking back control, remembering that they are the leader of their own lives. Oh, okay. You got 2 that were very clear. I'm going to take a 3rd. From the bottom of the deck, we've got take a step back. Thank you, angels, for helping me to step back from what's not serving me. So this is reminding us that sometimes we need to step back and look at things from a zoomed out perspective. And only then do we see the things, the patterns and behaviors that are not helping us, that are not our friends, that are not helping us get where we need to go. And only then are we able to make decisions to change those things. But we cannot see them if we are deep into it, when we are in the trenches of it. We can't see it. Like that old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. The only way to see it is to take a bird's eye view, like the birds here we have. Take a step back and look at things from a wider perspective, a zoomed out perspective. And it can help you see the things that you need to let go of, the things that aren't serving you, that are holding you back. What is it you need to let go of? Zoom out and have a look. See what it is that's not good for you. See what it is that you're doing that you can see a pattern that's not good for you and it's not helping you. Take a step back to see those things so you can see what it is that you do need to let go of. You're also being reminded to spend time with people who are your tribe, your people. Thank you, angels, for surrounding me with people I can trust and love. Spend time with the people who make you feel like your best you, because they bring out your good qualities. They bring out your empathy. They bring out that stuff. But also, I want to remind you, when we're getting into this take a step back thing, take a look at when you're spending time with your friend group. If when you're spending time with them, you're connecting with them, or if your connection is based on things, low vibrational things like gossiping, like, speaking ill of other people, complaining, if you are around people who behave that way, you will fall into those patterns as well. And you will find yourself in a negative space of complaining and gossiping and speaking ill of other people. So when you are with your friend group, pay attention. Is that the bond that you hold with your friends by doing these low vibrational things? If they are, that's going to help keep you stuck. You need to change the way you speak, maybe spend less time with those people. If there are people that you feel you can truly let your guard down, let your walls down, those are people you should spend more time with. And you're also being asked to honor your feelings from Archangel Haniel. Thank you, Haniel, for supporting me as I honor my emotions. This is reminding us to feel our feelings. When you feel a feeling, okay, you're not feeding the story of the feeling. When the feeling comes, you allow yourself to experience the emotion. You allow, if it brings tears, if it brings a smile, if it brings laughter, if it brings frustration, if it brings tight feelings, to just allow yourself to feel the emotion in your body and allow it to pass through without trying to hold on to it. What does that mean, hold on to it? It means telling the story that created the emotion. My partner doesn't love me. My child is a jerk. My kids never listen to me. My parents don't love me. I'm never going to get what I need. My needs are never going to get fulfilled. I can't believe they said that to me. All of those things, right? Those are stories. And as we repeat those stories, it keeps us stuck in the emotion because it fires that emotion into our consciousness. And then we experience it over and over and over. Just like I'm sure if you think about it, if you think about something sad, it'll make you feel sad. If you think about something that makes you angry, you're going to feel angry. That's the thing about feeling your feelings and feeding the emotion. If you keep telling yourself the story that made you feel the feeling, you're going to stay trapped in the emotion. Instead, honor the feeling. Give yourself the validation that it is valid for me to feel this feeling. Give yourself the, whatever it is. I felt this feeling and it's all right that I feel this feeling, and allow yourself to feel the feeling. But Don't get stuck in the feeling. Allow the feeling to rise and fall like a wave as it crashes over you and then recedes, because the feeling will recede. Feelings do not last forever. They will end. There is always an end to the feeling. The only reason there won't be an end that prolongs it is when you continue to tell the story that holds the emotion to it. And then you continue to experience the emotion because you continue to experience the thought, the story that's tied to it. When you release the thought, the story that's tied to it, the emotion is no longer trapped and you allow it to exit out. I'm sorry if I got a little high level for you. These are some big deals in working through emotions and emotional regulation. Allow yourself to feel your feelings, honor your feelings. Just don't get trapped in your feelings. Okay? So I'm going to take one more card, one more piece of advice for our pile number 2s, please. One more piece of advice. Yes, we're going to take it from our Inner Guides deck. Advice, Inner Guidance, I believe, is the name of this deck. All the decks will be linked in the description box. One more piece of advice. Thank you. You are being reminded to compromise. Okay. So, here's the thing. When we want things to be our way and only our way, Queen of Swords energy, shoulds and shouldn'ts, when we are focused on our shoulds and shouldn'ts, that things should be this way and they shouldn't ask for this and they shouldn't have a right and shouldn't, all that jazz, we are in a space of resistance. Compromise, as I've explained to my child, is you get a little bit of what you want, I get a little bit of what I want. It's not fully exactly the way you want it. And it's not fully exactly the way the other person wants it either. The idea is finding a middle ground where the goal is something you can both come to, and that you're each willing to concede certain areas towards the greater goal. So let's say an example of a relationship. The greater goal is the health of the relationship. So when dealing with conflict, there needs to be some give and take and allowance, because insisting that things are only your way is not for the greater good of the relationship. Because each of you has different thoughts, each of you has different needs, each of you has different viewpoints. The health of the relationship means that each person needs to have some say. There needs to be an agreement made between a compromise on both sides, shaking hands equally. Everybody is equal. I want to bring attention to the colors here. We've got a blue hands and a yellow hands and a green person behind. Blue and yellow make green. It's a mixture, right? It's a mixture of each person's desire on it, their needs, their wants, how they want the thing to go. It's a mixture of, and it's a middle ground that creates peace between partners. So what's your final advice? Pile number 2 of things you need to let go of. You need to learn to compromise. You need to learn to allow, but this also means speaking your voice as well. Being not just doing what the other person wants to avoid conflict or avoid further prolonging the drama. It's making sure that you are it's the compromise. If you're the blue and the other person's the yellow, it's not deciding to be yellow and taking their side. It's that they have to meet you in the middle too. You have to meet other people in the middle. They have to meet you in the middle. Reminding that it's compromise. So if you're a person who's somewhat stubborn, and if you pulled Saturn with the goat, which is a stubborn animal, you may yourself be a stubborn individual. Compromise is going to be very important for you, and that will help you to let go. So pile number 2, I hope that this advice was helpful for you. I hope that this gave you some insight into the things that need to be let go of in your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up to show that you appreciated this advice and it was resonating with you. Feel free to drop a comment if it did resonate with you, and share in what ways it might have resonated with you. If you want to give a donation to help the channel. All that information is in the description box below. And if you would like to follow me on social media, all that's in the description box, as well as my Patreon, where there's Patreon exclusives for our Patreon members over there. So if you'd like to do that, that is found in the description box as well. So until next time, love and light, fellow humans. Bye. If you chose pile number 3, Sagittarius, this is your reading. So let's have a look at this card first. So we have Sagittarius here, and we have this centaur, and he's got this ring of what I would assume is meant to be enlightenment around his head. We've got some sacred geometry behind him. Let's see, he's got some tattoos. Interesting. Oh, look at that. On his stomach. Let's see. I don't even know if you can see this. Let's see. On his stomach, that tattoo right there. Come on, focus. That one makes me think of the old fertility goddesses. Let's see. What else have you got in these tattoos? Wow. Look at that. All right, so right there, what is it you need to let go of? We may already be, just with the fertility goddess and the buxom shape that she carries, I'm going to say there may be something, for some of you listening, there may be something to do with body image issues for you. You may be having to let go of some body image issues. We've got the centaur as half human, half man. So there may also be something that you need to let go of, feeling like you are not whole, feeling like you are part something and not completely whole. Excuse me. Thank you. All right. So I also see that he is a warrior. He has a bow. So one of the things you might need to let go of is feeling like you need to fight. Feeling like that you need to be a warrior, that you need to fight. We have citrine here. I believe that's citrine. That's my best guess. And I'm sorry, I don't know enough about gemstones to give you some insight onto what citrine is. But I know citrus itself is very important to the health of the body, and vitamin C is important to staying healthy. So maybe there's some connection to being healthy. Things you need to let go of is not taking care of yourself, not being in a space of healthiness. Let's see. So what messages do we have for our lovely pile number 3s, please? Which deck do we want to read from today? Pile number 3s, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pile number 3s. What do they need to let go of? What do they need to let go of? Call to this one. All right. So this is the Energy Oracle deck. All that information will be linked in the description box below. All right, so for our lovely pile number 3, Sagittarius, not feeling whole, feeling like they have to fight. Tell me some more about what is it you need to let go of. Thank you. Need to let go of feeling, this is just apropos, feeling like you need to fight with the hostilities card. The hostilities card, we've got a warrior here. He's got this big sword. He's got a helmet here that either could be his or someone he's vanquished. He's got like an axe, and he looks angry. I'm not gonna lie, he looks angry, right? So one of the things you might need to let go of is feeling defensive, feeling like you have to fight, feeling like that you are in a fight or flight state. Maybe you are struggling with a dysregulated nervous system, and you are struggling with being in a survival space where you feel like you are always in fight or flight and you have to survive. That's something that is not good for your long-term health. As someone who went through that, I can absolutely attest to that. When you are in a fight or flight state for an extreme amount of time, you end up developing not only bad coping skills, but it actually causes health problems. When blood flow, let's take a minute to talk about fight or flight, okay? If you're not familiar with this, the thing is, when you are in fight or flight, your body thinks that you're about to be eaten by a T-Rex, okay? I'm going to throw that out there because it makes me laugh. And I like the imagery. So let's imagine we are the lawyer in Jurassic Park who is in the bathroom, and the T-Rex has knocked down the structure, and he's sitting on the can, and the T-Rex just looks at him. Okay. So when you are in fight or flight, your brain reacts as if that T-Rex is about to chomp down on you. You are either about to run or you are about to fight. And since we're getting the hostilities card, I'm going to say fight. So our body does not recognize that we are under stress rather than we are fighting for our lives. It is going to react as if we are under stress. So when we are in that way, our bodies are not really that concerned about digesting a sandwich. It's not super important right now. We need to make our legs move. We need to make our arms move. We need to have blood flow to the muscles in the legs and arms and in the heart, because the heart's going to pump more blood. So we need to have some good blood flow there. We need to have strong stuff there. The body that needs to fight or run needs to be ready to do it. Digesting a sandwich is not high on the priority list. But our body does not know the difference between I've had a bad day and I'm about to be eaten by a T-Rex. So it reacts in a similar fashion by sending blood flow to the most important organs and limbs and things that it needs, and not so much to sandwich digesting. Well, over time, that low blood flow to digestion begins to be a problem, because our digestion was not built to run on that low blood flow. It was built to run on a higher blood flow. So when we are not running at optimum levels, when blood flow is not running to the areas and it's running on minimal skeleton crew instead of the full spectrum, that's going to eventually create problems in that area that needed more blood flow. So when we are constantly in a state of fight or flight, in survival mode, we are unable to give our bodies the things that it actually needs, because it thinks that we are under siege. It thinks we are under attack. So it behaves in a similar manner. What is it that you need to let go of, pile number 3? Being in survival mode, honey. 2 cards with warrior, being in survival mode. You need to let go of lying to yourself. Okay, we've got the deceit card in the reverse. Okay, telling yourself lies. You need to let go of not seeing the truth with the deceit that way. I'm going to put it, because it came in that way, I'm going to say that it means not seeing the lies, not seeing the truth. What do you need to let go of? Deluding yourself. Telling yourself that it's not true. Not seeing the state of being, even when the evidence is in your face, even when it's right there in front of you, but you absolutely refuse to see it. That's not going to help you, man. If you're in letting go, if you want to let go of stuff, you have to see, you have to zoom out. Because it's affecting your value. Okay? It's affecting how you show up in the world. The door to value is opening the door to getting 3D value, right? And this is depicted as money, but it means things in the tangible world. So when we've got this, what you need to let go of, when you stop telling yourself lies, or stop believing the lies, not even necessarily telling yourself, but believing the lies that were given to you, it's going to open the door to opportunities for you, okay? It's going to open things for you, because after all the storms, that's when the sun comes, right? Here's the thing. This is like the Tower card in the typical tarot deck. And here's the thing. Storms are going to come and go. Okay, bad things are going to come and go in your life. You can't stop them from coming. You can't stop bad things from happening. The important thing is what you do after the storm, how you clean up after the storm. After the storm has raged through, and look around and say, okay, so that happened. Let's take stock of the damage. Let's see what has to be fixed. Let's mend the fences that need mending. Let's clean up the debris. Let's get all this stuff out of here, and let's move our lives forward without the things that we had before the storm. The storm might uproot an entire tree. Now you're going to have to live your life without that tree. The storm warning in the reverse position is saying the storms are over. It's time to rebuild. It's time to look at the damage, assess the damage, and start building fresh. Don't fear the storms. people. Don't fear the clearing, because the clearing is what makes space. The clearing is what clears out the things that are no longer needed in your life. The storms come and wash away all that is not meant for you. Don't try to cling to what should be cleared. Let go of what needs to go so that you can thrive how you need to thrive, right? It's bringing in more community. Yeah. And we got the Sun card at the bottom. Okay. So what do you need to let go of? Feeling like you have to do it all on your own. Okay, we've got the community card, and the community card is all about connecting with others, working as a team, knowing that there are other people who have got your back, other people who will help you on your path. What do you need to let go of? Feeling like you, again, with community and action is making things happen. What is it you need to let go of? Feeling like you have to be the one to make everything happen. Okay, you got the community card and the action card. Feeling like you are the only one who can make things happen. You are not the only one who can make things happen. Other people around you can assist you. They can help you. They can guide you. You're feeling like you're on the other, that there's abundance on the other side, but you just can't get there. The garden and the gate. So this is standing on the other side of the gate, feeling like there's all of this over there, but you just can't get there. There's a gate in your way. And you're feeling that way because you feel like you have to do everything by yourself. And you are being reminded that you don't. There are people here who are able to help you and guide you and help you along the way. You do not need to do all of the things on your own. Ask for help. Let yourself out of this state of, this can be in hostilities, and with the centaur, this could also be this mindset where you can't ask for help, that your ego is in a state where you can't ask someone for help because it would make you look weak. It would make you look like you don't know what to do. It would make you look like you're incompetent. Let go of that thinking, because that thinking is what's keeping you stuck. Feeling like you can't ask for help because someone else would make you feel bad for it. That's your own conditioning that you need to let go of. That's your own issues that you need to face. That's your lies. That's the deceit that you need to see. What is it you need to let go of? Feeling like you have to do all of this by yourself. Feeling like you don't have support. Feeling like you don't have the value. Feeling like you're always going to be stuck. None of those things are true. For our pile number 3s, tell me more about what it is they need to let go of, please. Thank you. Yes. Yes. You need, again, the world, completion. We got the world with completion. That's ending of cycles, okay? And you got the last card in the deck with the first card in the Major Arcana. The last card of Major Arcana combined with the first card, okay? Ending, this is, what is it you need to let go of? The advice that they're giving you is this is the ending of a cycle and the beginning of something new. You are closing out an old cycle. You are closing out something that used to be and is no longer. Look at the pattern here. In both of these cards, we have the flower of life in completion, and the flower of life, she's about to drop into the flower of life, and she's in it already in the completion. So you are ending an old cycle, an old way of being, and you are about to start something new. Okay? So don't fear the letting go. When you do let go, it's going to end the cycle. It's going to end what needed to end. It's going to end your, as I'm saying it, the Four of Wands is teamwork, participation, working together, working harmoniously, and it's in reverse. What is it going to end? This thing that's ending for you, that as you're letting go, the thing that's ending for you is feeling like you're alone, feeling alone. Again, echoing that community card, feeling like you are alone in all of this. You are not alone in all of this. You have teams, you have people, you have community who's willing to take care of you and be there for you and have your back, because we got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And the Page of Pentacles is things are going to be moving quickly when we've got the reverse, because the Page of Pentacles is things moving slowly. New things on earth, but moving very slowly. And this is in the reverse. It's moving quickly. So as you begin to let go of feeling like you need to do all of the things on your own, as you let people in, as you let people support you, as you let people be there for you, it's going to make things happen quickly in your life. It's going to make things manifest quickly in your life. Because at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands on the end of this deck and the Sun on the bottom of this deck. When you begin to let go of feeling like you have to do it all yourself, your help is going to come. Your success with the King of Wands is going to come. And with the Sun, I mean, look at this, okay? Ending of a cycle, last card in the Major Arcana, first card in the Major Arcana, second card in the Major Arcana. Or the second, number 1 in this, the Sun, okay? In our numbers, 2101, okay? The Sun is the happiest card in the entire deck. It is your happy ending, okay? When you let go of trying to do everything yourself and feeling in this negative space and feeling like you're stuck and believing these lies, when you let go of those things and allow people to help you, you will end this cycle and you will start something new, and it will happen for you fast and you will be happy. Okay? We're going to get one more piece of guidance for our pile number 3s, please. One more piece of guidance. We'll take this from our angels. One more piece of guidance for our pile number 3, needing to let things go. What is it they need to let go of, please? For our pile number 3, what do they need to let go of, please? Thank you. Feeling like you don't have abundance around you. Feeling like you don't have support. This card is a spiritual abundance. Thank you, angels, for blessing me with infinite abundance. What is it you need to let go of? Feeling like you are in a space of lack, that you don't have things that you need. This is reminding you that you do have abundance in the spiritual realm. When you create it energetically, you'll bring it to manifestation in the physical world. But you have to create it first energetically in the spiritual realm. When you see yourself as wealthy, as being blessed, as having abundance. Abundance means more than enough. There's enough, and then there's a little bit extra, and then there's more than enough. Abundance means more than enough. So this is reminding you that you have a connection in the spiritual realm that is more than enough. When you connect to your inner self, when you connect to your higher self, when you connect to your highest version of self, you have a great wealth of knowledge that you don't notice now. That wealth of knowledge is that your higher self already knows what's going to happen. It has already been through it. It's already done it. So your higher self can guide you into how to get through it because it has already done it and knows the right answer. So when we connect to our spiritual abundance and our higher self, when we learn to hear the voice of our higher self, we can learn to see through the lies that keep us stuck in our fight or flight and scarcity and survival mentality. It lets us open the door to seeing the worth and value available in the world, and then rebuilding after we see through all of these lies, remembering that we don't have to do it all by ourselves, knowing that there are those around us who can help us, allowing our friendships, allowing our people to help us as we grow. And this will bring us to the outcome that brings us our highest, greatest happiness. So pile number 3, I hope that this gave you some insight into what you need to let go of, what things are coming for you, what challenges you need to face to rise to being on your highest timeline, on your greatest version. So I ask, if you liked this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up to show that you liked the content, that it resonated with you. If it did resonate with you, drop a comment below on what it is that really hit you, that resonated with you. Share with others so they can, maybe it hit them too. Maybe it was something they're also struggling through on their journey. Help each other work through it. That's really very helpful in this community, is helping each other work through our stuff. We're all in this together. So if you also want to give a donation to the channel, you can find the donation information in the box, in the description box as well. I also have a Patreon channel where you can find Patreon exclusives for those who are in the Patreon tribe. So check that out if that's of interest to you. That's in the description box as well. And you can find me on social media. All of that stuff for social media is in the description box as well. So until next time, fellow humans, love and light. Bye.